What's up, guys? Kyle here. Today we're going to talk about a couple of different things. First off, the market you choose, why you should choose that market, and just whether you should do a general versus a branded store. I've got a couple of cents on that, but really you get the pick. So let's jump right into it. So choosing your market, all this means is what country are you going to sell in? So are you going to sell in the United States? You're going to sell in Germany? Are you going to sell in, South Africa or Japan? Who knows? These are all valid markets to sell in, and Google makes it really easy for you to sell in these places, as long as you get approved. So I'd just like to say a couple different things. The most competitive markets are first world country market, United States, England, Italy, Germany, Japan. And so just keep in mind, the more populated the country is, and the more likely there are dropshippers in that country or people attempting, the more competitive it's going to get into, and which isn't a big deal. So I will be doing the United States because that's where I'm from, and you'll see why. So, and then obviously, once I conquer the United States and once I'm doing, $1,000 a day or a couple of thousand, I can expand to different places like Mexico or Canada or, England, Australia. So just focus on dominating one market, or just putting your presence in the one market, and once you're doing good, then you can expand. It's the easiest if you can pick a market that uses your native language. So for me, I'm from the United States. My native language is English, and so it's just easy for me to market to people either in England, in Australia, or most of Canada or the United States. That's why I'm picking the United States. The reason for this, it just builds trust. If you don't speak German, but you build a German website and you don't have someone translating everything for you, and a German person gets on, it's going to look suspicious if you Google Translate stuff, right? So Google Translate doesn't translate beautifully most of the time. And the reason I want you guys to pick this is you'll need this information for Google Ads. It's going to make you guys pick what market you're selling in. So, but anyways, so yeah, I'm going to do the United States. So let's talk about general store versus the branded niche store. So a general store is going to be something like Walmart or Amazon. They kind of sell everything. There's a couple of benefits to a general store. First off, a general store, you can test multiple niches and products and see if you can find a specific niche that's better than the others, and then focus on that. It's easier to find winning products or hop on trends. One of the ways to quickly find products is to use TikTok Shop. If you see something that's selling high on TikTok, just grab that, put it on your website. Because I know for me, I'm kind of stubborn. I don't buy stuff off TikTok. But if something's on my mind, I'll go on Amazon or Google and just look it up, and I'll buy it from there, right? So there's a lot of people who do that. So that's a strategy you could use, is just finding TikTok stuff and bringing it over. So that's why it's easier to hop on trends. A general store, there's no need to create like a strong brand presence or like research a niche to dive into. The cons is it's going to cost you higher ad spend. Google's not going to know your target audience specifically. There's going to be a lack of returning loyal customers, and also general stores just have less trust. People enjoy buying from brands more than they do just like a general store, unless you're already the big ones like Walmart or Amazon, and you're selling like very, very generic products. So, but with it like clothing or home decor or baby supplies, like whatever, people want a brand to buy from because it makes them feel a part of a community. What a brand is, obviously you guys can get this, is like Apple or Coca-Cola. They focus on very specific products. Apple focuses on technology, on phones, computers. Coke is just, soda. That's the one thing they focus on. We're not out here seeing Coke selling like bunk beds. That's really weird, right? So, there's benefits to brands. So, brands build trust with people. People like to buy from trusted brands. Just like I said, people like to be a part of a community, and if they're in a brand, they're a part of that community. With your brand, your website will be more organized. Google Ads will know who your target audience is, and they'll be able to, use your ad spend more wisely. With Google, rather than paying for viewage, you're paying per click. And so that's why it's essential that Google knows your target audience. And then with a brand, it's easier to cross-sell and upsell products and give recommendations to customers. the cons of a brand is it's harder to start, it's easier in the long run, but in the short run, it's a little harder. There's a longer setup time for a brand. There's more work that goes into getting it started. You have to do brand research. You have to create logos, website design, the brand voice. I'm going to use ChatGPT to do most of this for me, though, so you'll see how to do it. And then you're stuck to that specific niche. So if there's like a winning trend on TikTok or Instagram and it's not associated with your brand, well, it's going to ruin your brand if you hop on that trend, basically, unless it's related to your brand, right? So I have a couple examples. These are some dropshipping stores I've found doing research for my other stores. The first one is a branded store. I'm sure you guys might have seen these. You guys do quite a bit of money every day, probably like $20,000 or $30,000 a day on this little brand. They're also on Google Ads. They're on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest. They're on all of the different markets. So they put in the work for this. But basically, all they sell are these little lamps that are like, capybaras or little ducks, right? And these lamps are just like comforting lamps for people. It's funny, I found the supplier and they buy them for like $3 to $7 per lamp and they sell them for $30. And they have like a buy one, get one free, that kind of stuff. So if I look at this right here, they have 256 products that they have on their store. That's all lamps. Just most of them are lamps from what I've seen. And then I guess I lied. I guess I do have a couple other things right here. But there's still lamp involved, right? So kind of cool. That's what a branded niche looks like. The whole website is focused on that. I click on one of the products and then like it's just got the same aesthetics around the whole website. It just looks professional. Related products, all that fun stuff. This website, from a spy tool, I don't know how accurate it is, but you can see right here they've done $200,000 in revenue in the past month is what it says. I don't know how much I trust Winning Hunter because I've seen different things from my stores, gives inaccurate numbers. But they also have 3,000 products on their store, 2,900. And so if I, scroll through here, it's just going to be a bunch of different things: health and wellness, beauty and personal care, tech and electronics, planting bed, toys, games, automotive. If I go up to the shop section, they have a mega menu, foot bath, beauty and personal care, Valentine's Day. So they just have everything. And look, they even have more categories. So they have probably 20 or 30 different types of products on their store that they sell. And so, but they're doing really well selling it. Obviously they say they've had over 100,000 customers, which I wouldn't be surprised with the amount of revenue they're doing. And their website looks decently well. So they also just sell generic products. So that's kind of the difference between a brand and a general store. Like I said, as I go through this process, I'm going to show you guys kind of the highlights and just kind of the step with my store. And I'm going to be doing a branded store because I found more success with a branded store. My first store was a general store, which was awesome. It did good, but I found that my branded stores are doing better now. So like I said, in the description, you'll find a free link to a Skool community. You'll see the small updates from my branded store I'm working on. And if this video is older, I'll start working on other branded stores. I'll just keep making them so you guys can learn. I'll be there to answer questions. And also, like and subscribe. Turn on that notification button. I'll be posting videos to help you guys walk through this whole process. Stoked to be here. Let me know if you have any questions in the Skool community or in the comments. I'll be there to answer them.